Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Ryan Rice. I want to talk to you guys today about the chatterbait and how we fish it and different trailers that we put on it. The chatterbait itself is not my confidence bait, but I do fish it. And when it's colder out, like right now in January down here, the water temperatures are a lot colder. I still fish it, but I just downsize it. This is the Mini Max. So, I just downsize this and fish it a little bit slower. So either, when it's cold out like this, I'll fish it just by itself and leave it as is, or I'll add a trailer to it. But what I do is, being it's a smaller bait, I'll add a smaller trailer. So I use the Strike King Rage Tail, which is a very, very small profile, basically like a creature crawl. But, it's just perfectly sized for the bait itself. And I just grab it, separate those, the tails, and I just work it on the bait right down the middle. Yeah, you want to make sure it comes right out the middle of the bait. But I usually throw a trailer on it. It just gives it a little bit more buoyancy, and this gives it a little bit more of a profile in the water. But this is a nice combo setup right here with that Rage Tail and the Mini Max. The chatterbait, like the crankbait, you can cover a lot of water all year round. And once again, just change your presentation up, and you could still, run it along the bottom. And being this is a single hook, it's a lot easier to cover along the bank with it, and get close to the bank without worrying about getting hung up on any like down trees, etc. as easy as you would with a crankbait. But it's just a good bait to cover water all year round. And I fished the chatterbaits on a medium heavy rod, and we'll go over that rod in a second here. So this rod is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod. It gives you plenty of backbone to pull that fish when they're like in the grass or around the pads, because sometimes I'll actually run this really close to the lily pads as well. And it just gives you this, the rod gives you the backbone to pull that out. I fish straight braid to this as well. Only time I usually use fluorocarbon or monofilament, and it's usually just fluorocarbon, is when I'm doing my drop shot or any like Texas rig setup, anything just to have that line disappear. But on a moving bait, I'm always running straight braid. Another way to fish the chatterbait, just like the lipless, cast it out, because it's a bladed jig, so it's just like a jig basically. I'll let it sink to the bottom, just like a lipless. Once again, just pull that slowly towards you, just enough that you can feel those blades, that blade fluttering or making that vibration. And once again, just pull it towards you and let it sit back down to the bottom. You're gonna get those fish that are holding deep in the water. Right now I'm in 8 feet of water. You're gonna get those fish that are holding deep in the water column, towards the bottom. You're gonna grab those suspended fish at the bottom with this, instead of just, because if you just reel this in and go fast, obviously it's going to stay towards the top. So just cast it out, let it sink to the bottom, and just pull it to you. You can just feel that little bit of vibration. You're just getting that blade just to work a little bit, and you're running like right on the bottom, just like a jig, and this blade will grab the attention of fish nearby, and the reflection off the sun or any of your daylight will reflect off that blade. Now, most of the time, the blades, I'm not too concerned with the color as much, but I mean, in the winter, I usually run gold. In the winter months, the summer months, it really doesn't make a difference. I'll use gold, or I'll use a darker colored blade. I think like the Thunder Cricket, a lot of those blades are dark colored blades, and they just move a lot of water. It's more of a, more of a bait it's just trying to move that water and grabbing the attention. So the blade color to me is not that important. Same thing with a crankbait. It's really just not that important for the most part color wise. Yes, it does matter, but it's more the action of the bait that grabs the fish's attention, in my opinion. The chatterbait's just another great bait to cover water. When it first came out, it was like almost like a fad to a lot of people. A lot of anglers did not jump on that bandwagon, but when people were hearing, what did you catch your fish on? Oh, I caught it on the bladed jig or the chatterbait. It started to grab a lot of attention from a lot of anglers, and now, the chatterbait is usually tied on everybody's rod. The chatterbait is a good bait once you learn how to fish it and get confident with it. And the only way you get confident with any bait is obviously spending time on the water with it, trying different, presentations, different techniques, And as you start catching those fish, you'll learn what they like, and it becomes your confident bait. You know, like I said, my crankbaits, my lipless, my Texas rig, my drop shot are my confident baits, but the chatterbait is still tied on my rod or it's in my tackle box with me. And if you haven't used them yet, you got to try them, because you could change, you know, your whole, you know, fish count for the year using that chatterbait. Because, you know, some parts of the country, that chatterbait is an awesome bait, and I'm in one of those areas where the chatterbait just kills it. You know, down south, Florida, you know, I'm in South Carolina. It's just a very productive bait that I have to get more confident with. So the chatterbait is a bait that many anglers like to use, and I hope today's video helped any of you who's never fished it before or have fished it before, learned a few new things about it and how we fish it, and hopefully all of us will catch more fish using the chatterbait. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the water, and be safe on the water.